This is why we are going to change the exhaust system.
It's still sturdy enough.
Got some more toys for the green IS200.
Oh yeah.
On this car we had on the rear lowering springs, and now we'll have this fully adjustable BC coilovers. So in the front we have completely stock shocks. The only lowering is coming from these adapters. We'll see how low it will go with coilovers. Probably lower.
The rear didn't go lower.
But this is stock.
Sure.
And that was with lowering springs.
Right. We'll see.
Lower is better. We didn't have scraping problems in the front, so
Didn't I?
it needs to go lower, it means. How low can it go? Slightly lower than previously?
Maybe.
So we noticed that dampening was way off. So now we'll see if the adjustment actually works. So now they are on max, right?
Yep. Hopefully. Yeah, it's harder. Not moving at all.
Perfect, right?
Seems to be working. So yeah, I've driven a few hundred kilometers since we've installed the coilovers on the IS200. And yeah, I think they're great. Might be the best investment I ever did to this car, because it totally transformed the ride. In general, just the handling is much better. So there's a lot less body roll, and the change in direction is rapid. For a drift car, the handling is great, I think. The weight transfer is awesome. The ride is quite hard, but you know, that's because the spring rates are 14 and 12 in the front and back. It might be a little controversial, but I think coilovers are a better mod than the turbo, because it's much cheaper to install coilovers. You don't require much skill to do it. And you know, you can install coilovers in a weekend, even in an evening, and go driving, and it totally transforms the car. For anyone considering installing coilovers, I totally recommend it. Go for it. The best mod I've ever done. Whoops.
The exhaust also needed some attention. For one, it was falling apart, spewing glass fibers all over, and it was becoming too loud.
got the green Lexus exhaust off, and the biggest problem with it is that this bend is kind of clocked downwards, and so the rest of the exhaust system is also lower, and of course it scrapes all over the place. With people, without people, it just scrapes everywhere. And let me turn this around, I'll show you how bad it is. And as you can see, wherever you look, there is scrape marks. Scrape, 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 all the way to the end, where we previously shown the worst part. At the moment we are thinking to pretty much make a cut somewhere here, clock it so it goes a little bit higher, the whole exhaust system, and then in this, somewhere in here, add the muffler, and instead of that old muffler, do a shotgun exhaust. I got these wood pieces to get the height right of the lowest point of the car, and just put the muffler on it. And as you can see, it clears the prop shaft, everything clears, and it fits, and it's quite big, quite large size. So yeah, everything clears. So we think that this is a good place for it. On the stock exhaust system, it's here where the stock resonator sits, so it's the perfect place. And if we put it there, then we have a lot of room for the shotgun exhaust. So the first thing I did was I cut the pipe here and rotated this part so it would be higher. So now if I put it on the lowest side of the car, so that's the chassis rails pretty much, you can see that there is plenty of space now, and previously it was probably down here or something like that. So got some 3-inch piping bought, and we will be making a shotgun exhaust from those.
Since we don't have a proper cutting equipment, for angle cuts, Justas modeled the whole shotgun exhaust and printed the stencils for all of the parts. If you want to make your own 3-inch exhaust, write us an email and we'll send you the prints. It is as easy as cutting the stencils out, positioning them on the pipe, marking the line, and cutting.
Looking good. Just we're trying to determine at what angle it should exit. Can you put it straight?
Like this.
Yeah, sick, bro. This looks good. Now at an angle. Oh, even better. Oh yeah. Or maybe this. So got the cut part stacked in. Looks pretty good. Some places the gaps are not that good, but I'll manage. So the shotgun is fully welded, and currently I'm trying to position it for its final place, and it's currently held by zip ties, tape, and everything else. So yeah, not much left of the planning, and pretty much only welding to do. Hey Skit, but we have a problem here to the cut. Nu nežinau, kraujuojančiam ausim man atrodo bus sunku įtikinti kitus. The exhaust is finished, fully welded up, but we have a problem. No? So we're trying to find the source of the problem. By this code, you find the exact muffler, and it says
XL mufflers are reversible reflection style mufflers using a combination of perforated tubing and baffles to reduce unwanted resonance and increase exhaust flow.
bull crap.
I mean, maybe it would be louder without it.
How louder could it be?
I don't know, dude.
So the version 2 of the exhaust is finished. We've replaced the muffler, and the rest stayed pretty much the same. This part is a bit different, but not by much. And it's time to listen to it. you know.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Sounds much better.
Time for a drive.
Indeed. Yeah, it's quieter. And sounds much better.
Yeah, because it took off all the high notes and left the low bassy sound, which we prefer.
And I think there's less annoying resonance.
Yes, yes, yes.
We'll have to go on the motorway to see if it drones.
Now we're gonna safely accelerate to the allowed speed limit.
Indeed.
The biggest plus, I think, in my opinion, is that the exhaust now is quieter, so the turbo sounds are louder.
Yeah, that's great. Love it.
And now we're gonna see how well it does when cruising at higher speeds.
Hey, the drone's much better. It doesn't drone quite as much as it did before.
Alright, so we're going 100 and it's quite nice.
Yeah.
Not too loud, not
we
too
can
quiet.
talk to each other, yeah.
So overall it seems a thumbs up.
Yep.
Because we are adding shotgun exhaust, the old round hole doesn't cut it. Because, for one, it doesn't fit, and two, it kind of looks stupid. So what we had to do is cut away the stock bumper exit outlet, and we also had to cut the lip. After we cut the old piece that was like around here, we cut a little bit more so we can shift the hole a bit and now make it more of an oval, let's say, and now the exhaust will sit very nicely. And now what we only need to do is to fiberglass this part back in and it will look mint. Getting ready to fiberglass these two pieces back together. So the new fiberglass is on. Hopefully it's stuck.
We think this is enough building for now, and we need some drifting action before the season ends. But that is for another video.